A narcissist never expects to lose someone like you. In their arrogance, they believe walking away from your love, your loyalty, and your truth will lead them to something better, easier. But what they didn't realize is they weren't just leaving a relationship. They were walking away from the one person who held up a mirror to their soul, not to shame them, but to guide them toward who they could have been if only they had the courage to grow. You weren't like the others. You didn't play games. You came with honesty, with presence, with emotional clarity. But for someone who thrives on illusion and control, that kind of authenticity is terrifying. You saw through them, their insecurity beneath the charm, their fear behind the arrogance, their weakness beneath the mask of confidence. And because they couldn't face the truth, they chose to destroy the mirror. They walked away from the very reflection that was pushing them to evolve. But they didn't walk away clean, because now that silence you left them with, it echoes louder than any argument. You stopped explaining. You stopped trying to be understood. You walked away not to hurt them, but to protect your peace. And in that dignified silence, you forced them to sit with the one thing they've always avoided, themselves. Shame is now their companion, not because you sought revenge, but because truth has a way of following people who ran from it. That shame shows up in the quiet moments, when distractions fade, when new relationships feel empty when they hear your name. And what eats at them the most isn't that you were perfect. It's that you were real. You were the presence they didn't know how to value, the rare soul they thought they could replace. They weren't ready for your strength, your depth, your standards. You didn't demand perfection. You asked for honesty, for effort, for emotional responsibility. But that was too much for someone committed to staying small. So they sabotaged what was sacred, not because they didn't know your worth, but because they couldn't rise to meet it. Now, they live with the consequence. They smile. They pretend. They chase new connections. But nothing fits. Nothing feels the way it did with you. Because you didn't just love them. You reflected them. You made them feel seen. And that's what they miss, even if they'll never admit it. Every new person becomes a painful reminder that no one else offers what you did. That's the curse of losing someone irreplaceable. They carry the weight long after you're gone. But you didn't scream. You didn't beg. You didn't seek revenge. You healed. You evolved. You found peace in silence while they drowned in their own regret. Your absence became the loudest truth they couldn't escape. And now they know you were never the problem. You were the mirror. You were the lesson. And their shame? That's the price of losing you.